Okay, there we go.
Hello. Tip of the morning to you, Governor. Why don't you put another shrimp on the Barbie and put on your headphones because it's time for your favorite cracking podcast of all lore. This is ye old locker room talk.
Coming right out of the gate swinging, Bob.
I have no idea what accent this is.
Welcome
what
to
time
Locker Room
period
Talk.
it's from.
That was a mix. It went from like Australian to Old English at a certain point. Welcome to Locker Room Talk. Matt Maran, Joe Gorman, Bobby Sheehan.
We're bad at podcasting.
We have a cat on the couch that Joe is sitting in between the cat and me to protect my life because of my allergies.
I'm literally throwing myself in the way of death, saying not today.
This is our version of the ending of Nutty Professor.
Matt already humiliatingly broke his arm on film. The last thing he needs is to die of asphyxiation because of exposure to a 17-year-old cat.
Yes.
Yeah, well, his career will certainly end due to an exposure to a 17-year-old something.
17-year-old pussy.
Yeah.
There you
Now,
go.
Matt, would you?
Oh, it's a double entendre because cats are... Folks,
Yeah.
cats are known as pussies. But also, the insinuation was going to be that Matt was with an underage girl.
Well, Matt has been dating this high school student, but he's been so like, I don't want to talk about it.
She's above age. She's just been left back several times. That's how I save it. She's actually
legal.
25. She's just retarded.
She's Beatrice Madison.
Oh,
I was trying to think of the female version of Billy.
Oh. I'm like, did James Madison have a retarded daughter I don't know about?
Beatrice.
Beatrice and not Betty.
Betty Madison.
There you go.
Reboot Betty Madison, and she's doing it for the girls, and it's the same movie, except at the end we learn that women can be stupid too.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's the all-female reboot of Billy Madison. It's Betty Madison, and it's just a woman trying to tell a story.
Continually interrupted by 3 podcasters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds beautiful. Betty Madison. Bowel movement, Betty Madison.
Yeah. Bowel movement.
Just BM. I don't know. I'm freeform riffing right now.
Right. Yeah. You're a freestyle artist.
I'm freestyling. I freestyle rap. I freestyle bits.
Yeah.
I freestyle justifications in a courtroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a freestyler.
Yeah. I'm actually. It's a rare occasion post broken arm that I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt.
It's a rare
giant
occasion
scar.
in this day and age.
Yeah.
My dad could not believe that you're gonna have that scar forever. I was like, it'll fade, but it's there. And he's like, that's impossible.
Does
And
your
I'm like,
dad not know how the human body works?
I guess not.
Where it's like,
You should ask your mom that question.
Yeah. Yeah.
scars will get like lighter, but yeah, there's always going to be like a light one.
Yeah. Until I get the cover-up tattoo.
Yeah. Have you put any more thought to what that cover-up tattoo might be?
Probably a giant penis.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And where it's like the head of the penis is on your shoulder, but then it's coming right up into your mouth. Yeah, people think you have teardrop tattoos, but it's in the other direction, and it's little cum droplets.
I was thinking of having it go to the scar, so then with what's left of the scar is what's coming out of the tip of the penis.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that way you're showing bitches that you shoot ropes.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, because that's what women love. The quantity of semen.
Yeah.
The volume. They're not concerned with how big is this penis? Does it stay hard? Is it attached to a man that's stable? What they want is a big amount of cum, a big cum, if you will.
Yeah.
A BC.
Yeah. BC.
Mm-hmm.
Before Christ.
Before Christ, but also big cum.
Big cum.
Yeah, now that's what I'm gonna. Whenever someone's like 1000 BC, that I'm gonna think of that as being a metrics of big cum.
Yeah.
You know, like 1,000. I don't know, tablespoons. That's too much.
I feel like if
Teaspoons?
there ever ends up being like corruption within sperm banks, it'll be because of big cum.
Ooh, you know what? We're a fucking truth teller podcast.
Yeah. Fuck. People talk about big pharma. Not enough people talk about big cum.
I am
Big comma.
Big cumma.
I am proud when I have when I shoot like a strong, thick rope.
Why?
I feel like a man.
Yeah, because you're like, man, some people would be in prison for fucking coming to what I just fucking came to. And look at the volume in which I've come to this.
Are you
almost making it more criminal, the
Yeah.
fact that I got pleasure from it.
Are your loads different? Like, can you shoot more ropes
Yeah, like,
when
let
you're
me-
by yourself
of cour-
versus when you're with the girl?
Yeah, because, Matt, like, you and I, we have, like, regular soft to hardcore pornography loads.
Right.
Bobby has what we can only refer to as CP loads.
Yeah.
Critically
Thicker,
pleasurable loads.
Yeah, thicker, more dangerous
Right.
than anything we could ever conceive of coming to.
That's true. Yeah.
Watch out.
It's not important what I'm watching to make me shoot these large ropes. All I'm saying is I shoot large ropes. And to answer your question, I feel like it's irrelevant whether or not I'm alone or not.
Yeah.
It's how long has it's been since I last came.
Okay.
Because if I jerk off twice in one day, that second load is like what you get when you're like flicking your penis after you pee at the urinal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the level of cum I'm shooting out on that second load of the day. But
okay.
yeah.
What's like by the third or fourth load is just like an old man drooling.
Eventually
a
it's
fucking dude in a coma.
Yeah.
Where like the nurse just has to kind of dab at his lip to fucking get it. That's your cleanup is basically that.
yeah, and then the last load of the evening is like what they show in cartoons when a man opens his wallet and dust comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what happens to my urethra.
Bunch of moths fly out of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It probably has something to do with my diet. You know what? I'm very as you might have noticed from the folks that watch this podcast. I stay hydrated. I'm a hydro homie, and I think that has something to do with it.
What, your loads?
I think I have thick, creamy loads sometimes. I don't want to raise expectations too high, but I think sometimes my loads are thick and creamy because of the amount of water that I drink.
That Asian child you made out with over the weekend, would they have experienced your thick, creamy load?
Okay, so just so the audience doesn't get confused, Joseph, I went on a date with and I can't emphasize this enough, an adult Asian woman.
That's not what you said. You said, "Oh my God, fucking school got out early." You said, "Boys, I'm about to fulfill my schoolgirl fantasy." Devil face grin emoji.
See, this is
several of them.
This is like in that sitcom where an incident happens, and then each character describes how they interpreted the incident, and they're all widely different. But yours has quite the character to it.
Really?
Where everyone nearest and dearest to you is a criminal pedophile.
Yeah.
For some reason, this is what you need.
In the world I live in, I'm the only whistleblower.
Yeah.
In a world
Only
of
good man that fucks adults.
Literally, like everyone in my vicinity is a pedophile, and I'm like, I gotta stop these somehow. Perhaps I make an incel podcast, or I fucking blow the whistle on them one at a time. Watch out! Don't worry, kids. You're gonna eventually get taken care of. I hope. What are you gonna do? Allude to the fact that his cum loads are fucking far more gargantuan than myself or Matt because he pleasures himself.
Just like in years
CP.
from now when Joe is, if like Joe's married around a bunch of friends who are married and everyone's telling the stories of how they met their wife, after the story Joe's just like, well, that's not how I remember it.
Yeah, dude. I believe you bought her off of a nice ethnically vague man.
Joe's the best man at a wedding.
Yeah.
Ruins the wedding.
Joe's best man speech is like, I remember when we first met her.
My best man speech ends with several people getting indicted. It's like, we might be able to finally close the loop on this child fucking sex trafficking.
You're like Hannibal Buress, but you put many innocent people in prison.
Yeah, I just assume everyone's a fucking rapist.
Except for R. Kelly. He thinks R. Kelly's innocent.
Anyone who...
Yeah, that's the one hiccup, is that guys that are actually rapists, you're like, nah, I don't.
No
I don't
one,
see it.
no one that could,
They would never.
no one that could compose something that beautiful could ever be so guilty.
That's why Joe thinks I'm a rapist, because he doesn't think I'm funny.
You're not a good enough artist.
Yeah,
He watches me on stage. He's like, "There's no way this guy doesn't rape children."
Yeah. Oh, this guy's a one of your bits lands. I'm like, this guy's a fucking rapist. I knew it.
Yeah. To answer your question, no. In fact, I went on my second date with her last night.
Oh.
And I think I'm going to. Usually it's 3 dates. Remember, I was saying it's one date or 3 date. That's why I wasn't expecting anything from date number 2.
If you don't get what you want by the third date, you're taking it.
Yeah.
I believe. Folks, you might want to timestamp that. But Bobby Sheehan absolutely said
Exhibit
that.
number 3. Joe clearly said that Bobby said this.
Yeah.
And I'm on the bench like, it wasn't me. It was Joe.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
they're
we
like-
have documentation.
Yeah.
We have documentation that he said you said that.
You're like the fucking that woman that tests the drugs for like Massachusetts state courts and was later found to be like a drug addict herself.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, what happened?
Do you not know that there was a documentary about it? I forget what it's called. It's probably driving anybody crazy that remembers the name. Sound off in the comments if you remember the name of this
documentary. She got like a job where she gets to test drugs. She was a drug addict who just got that job.
So she got the job and then and was like, I wonder what this is like, and became an addict.
Okay.
And there was this big issue. I believe it was Massachusetts.
I have less respect for that. I would have had respect if she was a drug addict who just found her way into a job where you get to like test all the drugs.
Well, I imagine they do.
The interview is like, what qualifies you? Is like, I have an extensive knowledge of drugs. I can identify all drugs. They like a drug sommelier.
Yeah.
Is basically what they want to be.
I went to under a bridge in Trenton, New Jersey University.
They take a bit of the coke, put it under their thumb, and they're like, definitely was in a trans woman's ass. Yeah. Don't swallow it. You have to swish it around in your mouth to really savor it.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
But she got she got addicted to these drugs, and then there was a big problem in Massachusetts because they were like, well, this woman was working at the place that basically you get picked up in Massachusetts for having coke. They actually have to send the coke to a lab, and it has to test positive for coke. And so this woman, who was high herself the whole time, was in charge of testing the coke. So then all these defense attorneys were like, you can't say my client didn't have coke because it was tested by a drug addict. And I don't remember how it was resolved, but it was like this big problem in Massachusetts. They're like, a bunch of fucking drug convictions are being overturned.
Nice, dude. Massachusetts sucks.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Boston.
Wait, so because this person was a drug addict, they had to be like, well, we actually don't know if those cases were legit or not.
Right. She was.
Who knows? A fucking drug addict was in charge of it. Like,
Yeah.
You know how this shit makes everyone. You're on. Look at my fucking client. He's fucking goofballs. You think a doctor's gonna be able to identify this shit?
Even though that moment he was carrying a baggie of baby powder.
You know what's something interesting I actually heard because about like the idea of releasing people who are in jail now for nonviolent drug crimes.
Terrifying.
Because Biden signed the thing that's like, it was like a thing that actually isn't letting anybody really out. It's like a step in the right direction, I guess, because it's like on paper
He said
where
he basically said like anyone that's convicted of basically like anyone who's convicted of holding drugs or distributing drugs or using drugs, if their name is Hunter Biden, will not go to jail.
Right.
That's great.
It's all expunged from their record.
Yeah.
And it's like it's one person, but it's a step in the right direction.
Right.
I believe what did he say? It's like the journey of a 1,000 miles, Jack. Begins with some kids at a pool hanging out, you know, and they're hanging out and they're swimming. They're touching my legs.
Yeah.
You know,
Joe struggling for the next part of the bit actually perfectly mimics how Biden actually talks.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
can do a great Joe Biden impersonation because I'm terrible at thinking on my feet.
I'm like, I was like, okay, how will I do this Biden impression? It's like, well, what does a retarded person? What does he think like? It's like, okay, follow on that. I'm a retarded person, and my son is a drug addict who sold out American Details for a crack pipe.
Yeah.
How wild is that?
Do you think the next part of that the bill is also Twitter can't have pictures of anyone's penis if their name is Hunter Biden?
Yeah, and also be nice to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last part of the bill.
Honestly, this is turning me around on the Bidens.
Yeah.
I think Hunter Biden's pretty cool, actually.
The Bidens.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about him is, like, I get addiction, and I get that it makes you act like a crazy person, but I don't know, man. Your dad is running for president and then is president, and you're like, I still got to feel myself fucking a prostitute. It's like, do you?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I can understand.
Fucking
like,
committing. I mean, how many other people... Think about how many people give up on their dreams because of something way less serious than their dad running for president.
Yeah.
But your dad's running for president, and you still have the ambition to do what you want to do.
It is nice. It's the American dream, honestly.
I'll
Hunter
tell you
Biden
what,
is the
man.
American dream.
Yeah, it should have been like if it was just drugs or just prostitutes, I think we could have easily forgiven him because it's like, okay, but it was like the fact that he got to indulge in prostitutes and drugs.
Yeah.
It's like, no, buddy, come on,
Honestly,
man.
what was weird to me about it was like the drugs and prostitutes thing. I'm kind of like, fucking yeah, shit happens.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then like the actual, I don't know shit about dick, but you'd see like, oh, there was like actual like secrets and stuff and being put on the board or something. Like there was actual political maneuvering that seems like it had real world consequences, and everyone was just like, yeah, but that video with the hooker though.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the thing that some people are morally outraged about. I'm like, no, I don't give a shit about that. If there's actually fucked up stuff, you take care of that. Let me just enjoy the video of him getting a foot job from a hooker.
New conspiracy just dropped. Yeah. He had sex with a hooker on camera and did blow to divert attention away from the illegal stuff.
I think he just wanted his dad's attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he just wants his dad's approval.
He just wanted to play fucking catch with his old man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every fucking drug addict can be fucking traced back to them not having enough interaction with their dad.
Also, like, Biden's first wife died in a car crash.
Allegedly.
His other son, Hunter's brother, died of cancer.
Apparently.
Like, Hunter's the success story in the family, if you think about it.
Well, I don't think the non-addict son getting brain cancer and dying in his 50s is
What
like
a fuck
an
up.
Yeah. What an L.
I had brain surgery. I survived.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, if Matt could
I
survive.
prefer people that don't die from brain issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the I think it was like people in federal prison with marijuana or federally whatever, but most of the people are in state prison. It was something where it's nominally a good thing but doesn't actually have much of a real world effect. But the thing is, if you actually took people who are in jail for these long-term non-violent weed offenses out, the thing is a lot of them are like violent murderers and like bad people who they got the way they got like Al Capone for tax evasion.
Right.
They just like got actual violent murderers on a weed charge.
Yeah.
So
Good.
if you let everyone out who's in jail for a non-violent drug offense, which I think in theory you should do, you're actually going to be letting out a lot of really violent people.
Yeah, and also the type of person that would sell drugs, I think, is also might be capable of violence.
No, I don't think so.
Bobby, get the
Not
fuck
at all.
out.
100%
Ass
no.
fucking Bobby.
No,
Slippery
kids-
slopes Sheehan over
Yeah.
here.
Kids
someone
smell-
you sell weed. Someone steals
yeah.
your weed. What do you do?
Fucking get more weed.
Ah, okay.
And never
Yeah,
sell to
nice.
that guy again.
How many potheads do you know that are violent?
Yeah.
Like,
The people that sell pot, if you steal their pot, I'm pretty sure their next move is beat the shit out of you.
No.
Bobby's never fucking bought pot off a guy in
have
his
you
life.
ever
No,
met
I'm
weed
not,
dealers?
I'm not talking like Roger Klotz behind the middle school pot dealer.
Yeah.
I'm talking the big burly guy whose race is not important.
There's never a big burly guy.
In a tinted window sedan.
That's a very small percentage of people selling
Bobby
weed.
has no idea what the fucking weed salad looks like.
I don't smoke weed, but I know
bought
that
weed.
that's...
Not to flex on you, Joe.
Okay.
I smoked weed. You and I probably smoked weed at the same time because you started in your 20s and I started in my teens.
Oh my goodness.
I hate to break it to you. I know that the lowest of the low level are just kind of dirtbags.
Okay. Well, hey,
But
folks.
their bosses will hurt you.
Yeah.
Or their bosses. At some point, you get a guy that will hurt you.
How much weed do you think they'll take a life over?
I don't know. Not necessarily a life, but definitely like a black eye.
Okay. Well, fucking fans, let Bobby know if a fucking weed dealer is actually capable of violence. Show Bobby the kind of violence a weed dealer is capable of.
Yeah. I mean, you could say who is somebody who's capable of violence. It's like, all right, what about every hockey player in the NHL?
Yeah.
Well,
I think they're just as prone to being violent as a weed dealer.
What I just said is justification for putting people in draconian prison sentences for drugs.
Yeah.
That weren't violent. But this sort of like Disneyfied version of these poor victims that are in prison, I'm like, I think they might be dirtbags.
Sure, some of them.
Yeah, you
but
can be a dirtbag, but that doesn't mean you're like a fucking murderer or rapist.
Not even,
Like
I'm
a
Not a
dirtbag.
murderer, but maybe a burglar or someone that if you bumped into them in the subway would sucker punch you.
I think like the only thing illegal is about a lot of drug deals is just that they're dealing drugs.
I'll go out on a limb and say I think most dirtbags in the world shouldn't be in jail.
Yes.
Because I think,
We are in agreement.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's a lot of poor Johnny's in the wrong place at the wrong time are the people being let out.
I think a lot of drug dealers are really like James Franco in
Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express. Like
Yeah.
they really are just kind of like weird guys.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of just like weird kind of lonely guys. Like maybe they'll make like empty threats.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, a lot of the people who are like weed dealers in jail probably would do open mics if we let them out.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm reversing on this. A lot of if any of them are going to become comedians, they have to stay in jail.
Yeah. If you're a comedian, congratulations, you're under arrest.
In jail. Where a type 5 is just a guy that looks like me that you could rape.
Yeah.
Of the three of us, who do you think will be the first to get raped in jail? Who do you think would flourish?
I mean, come on. I'm like it's me.
But Matt's like the biggest guy, so maybe people would fucking rape him to establish dominance.
No. It's beat up the biggest guy in the room, not rape the biggest guy in the room.
Well,
Joe got it wrong. Joe pulls his dick out of the biggest man in the room. He's like, "Oh, I fucked it up again."
I fucking rape a guy my first day, and everyone's like, whoa, that's not how we do it. Everyone's like upset, like that I just didn't follow the fucking prison etiquette. It's like, you beat up the guy, you don't rape him. Jeez, they pick up this big guy that I raped. They're fucking dusting him off. It's like, oh, Greg, are you all right? Come on, let's get you something to eat, man.
And then Joe's
Jeez
like,
Louise.
well, besides, I have a friend who once said that you're probably a dirtbag if you're in here anyway. So
They said I'm a what?
Yeah, I think not only am I the smallest of the three of us, but I also think that they could feel me being like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like
Thinking that you're better than them.
Yeah,
And
that'll get you raped real quick.
Yeah.
I've almost been raped in this room for the same reason. Yeah.
I'd probably fucking chill with the white supremacists.
What do you mean probably? You definitely would.
Yeah.
Or the Chicano. Whoever like comes up to you first is who you have to be with.
Yeah, whether they say, hey, brother, or hey, poppy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I guess I'm fucking chilling. Either way, I'm shaving my fucking head.
Yeah.
Keeping the mustache.
There you go.
You know? Walking around in a wife beater, beating the shit out of people. That'd be cool. What would you do, Matt?
I'd hang out with the dudes playing basketball and lifting weights outside, probably.
They would fucking bring you in just to kill you.
Yeah.
And fucking skin you and be like,
I would be turned on for sure.
Yeah.
I'm too trusting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby, do you think you'd at least make it through the night?
I mean, I would make a good partner. And that's how I would get through my sentence. I think.
think you would get shanked immediately.
No, I think I die first because I get either turned on or shanked. I'm like in with the crowd that would turn on me. Bobby makes it through but gets raped every day.
I put on lipstick immediately.
My problem is I would flourish and I wouldn't be able to live in the outside world. They would be like, come on, Joe, you're up for parole. I'm like, yo, better to rule in hell than to be a slave in heaven.
You're like that. You're like that guy that hangs himself in the middle of the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. And then I like slowly close the fucking cell door, locking myself in. And as it pulls back, an orchestrated version of Gangsta's Paradise starts playing, all slow.
Don't worry, me and Bobby on the outside, we'd start.
Directed by Bob Saget.
Yeah. We'd start an online Twitter campaign to get you out and eventually trade one of the most notorious arms dealers in the world for you.
Damn, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Brittany Griner, congratulations. Enjoy your freedom.
Yeah.
It only cost millions of American lives. I hope that vape pen was worth it. Honestly, it probably was. Vape pens are fucking great.
She's another one, too, because obviously she was that was bullshit.
You think she's a dirtbag?
Yeah, she is a wife beater.
Yeah, is she?
No one knows that.
Is she really?
Multiple times have been arrested and I believe once convicted of spousal abuse, and everybody's like, man, it's crazy that the only bad thing she's ever done in her life is that she smoked weed once. It's a perfect example of what I was just talking about.
So you think because like somebody had to fucking put their wife into place, they deserve to go to a fucking Russian prison? If that's the case, fucking lock me up because I have to
throw away the key.
I have to regularly put fucking my sweet Gumar into line every now and again.
Yeah.
Is that like fucking? Does that make me a criminal? Then lock me up and throw away the key.
Throw away the key, buddy.
Uh-oh, Kelly's gonna beat the shit out of me now.
Yeah.
I hope that riff was worth it. Thanks a lot, Brittany Griner. Get me in trouble again.
Yeah.
What are you looking up now, Matt? Why are you looking up schoolgirl, PP, upskirt, diarrhea, pain? Jesus Christ.
Diarrhea. That's got to be a lucky cameraman.
Matt, you
to
don't
get
even,
her at the exact moment she's having diarrhea.
Matt's not even on incognito mode. My God.
Okay, so this is pretty funny. They even bury it on a Wikipedia page. Brittany Griner, personal life and activism. Comes out as a lesbian, representing LGBT people.
I love that she had to come out as a lesbian.
Yeah. No, she just had to get drafted into the WNBA.
I'm thinking I'm gay.
Deal with Nike, first openly gay athlete they've had.
I'm thinking I'm
Breonna
openly
Taylor,
gay.
George Floyd protests, and then marriages and domestic violence case.
SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, was engaged to a former WNBA player.
Nummy.
Both arrested on charges of assault after
my.
the police responded to a fight between the two. Despite this incident, they got married.
Ooh, how romantic.
They were suspended after Griner pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct charges, was also required to complete 26 days of domestic violence counseling.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, so...
Well, that shut me up.
Yeah, that's all there is on Wikipedia. I mean, I haven't looked more into the case or anything, but...
What kind of... what's your justification? When is it okay to beat a woman, Matt?
When she sneaks a vape pen into a foreign country.
My dad was there was an attempt. How do I phrase this?
Attempted murder.
There was
an attempted rape.
Three Roma. Actually, it's not important that they were Roma.
Romanians.
No, Roma.
Vampires.
Yeah.
Oh,
Romani.
gypsies.
Joe, we're gonna have to bleep that out.
We're gonna have to bleep out the G word. But anyway, these
Gypsies.
three. Listen, because that word, it implies that those people are violent. Anyway, these three people tried to mug my dad.
Did they fucking tie a scarf around his neck and?
Yeah,
and it was fucking beautiful.
He was one of the girls in Taken.
Yeah, one of the fucking beautiful women were fucking dancing. And he was allured, and then she fucking threw a scarf over his head, and while he was fiddling to get the scarf off of his face, another gypsy fucking reached in and stole his wallet, and another gypsy reached and took his belt, so his pants fell down, and he was wearing boxer briefs, but they had hearts all over him, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And he was fumbling to pull it up, and then all of his stuff was on a cart, and he was like, "What's going on?" And meanwhile, the family dog was trying to warn him and fucking pointing at them, but he was like, "Not now, Rex! I gotta fucking get my pants up." And the dog was desperately pointing to the gypsies that were stealing your stuff. Was that what happened?
It's crazy how much you nailed it.
Yeah, dude. I lived it.
Was that before or after they put a cushion on your dad to have a short ginger child?
That's why. My dad pissed off a gypsy. Now he has an open mic comedian son.
Yeah, they whispered ginger into his head.
So anyway, they tried to mug your dad?
Yeah, my parents were in Madrid, and they were trying to get into a taxi.
Ooh.
And two guys and one girl tried to get both of my parents, my mom's purse and my dad's wallet.
Yeah.
And somehow my mom with her purse got into the taxi and locked the door while my dad was still outside.
Nice.
And my dad was like, "You should never hit a woman unless she's trying to take your wallet." And
nice.
I think he answered your question, Joseph.
So he fucking grabbed that fucking dirty fucking gypsy by the back of her skull and smashed her face against the taxi window repeatedly until it was smashed.
Yeah.
And then he fucking jammed his fucking 3 fingers down her throat as deep as he could. Not for any kind of fucking physical dominance, but just for the sexual gratification
Yes.
of it.
I mean, the way he tells it is I punched her really hard once in the face and she ran away, but I mean, it's implied what you just said.
Yeah.
I feel here's the problem, man. I feel punching a woman in the face is like Pringles. Because once you pop, you just can't stop. Right? You're like, God damn, this
And
is
sometimes your hand gets stuck.
That's what they say. You should never hit a woman. What they should tell you is it's fucking great and it's incredibly, incredibly hard to stop. So just don't start.
It's
That's
really,
what they should say.
It's really hard. It's really hard not to take 2 of them and put it in your mouth and make a duck noise. Also,
Yeah.
I think hitting a woman's like Frosted Flakes because it's more than good. It's great.
Yeah.
There is sort of a thing of if obviously if you ever hit if you're arguing with your girlfriend,
Yeah.
and she's really kind of turning up the nag machine,
Yeah.
and you
if
hit
she's
her,
saying George Washington isn't the greatest president of all time.
I mean, if she's saying something crazy like that, and you do hit her, and the problem stops at least temporarily. That does have to be hard to be well, I can't do that.
When you were about to hit her, did you say the buck stops here, like Harry S. Truman had on his fucking desk before you just wallop her?
And
I bet
George Washington's on the buck.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out which of these scenarios Brittany Griner's girlfriend and then eventual wife. So
Do you think Brittany Griner hit her wife so hard that when her wife went through the wall, it left a perfect outline of her body like a cartoon? And then like Brittany Griner's wife put her fist through the window and it was the hole she made and it was holding the sign and it said ouch.
Yeah. Probably.
I'm sorry, Bobby. Am I fucking boring you with my recounting this domestic violence? In a Warner Brothers Looney Tunes, that's kind of way.
It is interesting that just how if this was like somebody who, for whatever reason, the meat wasn't like, she had been there for the on the quote unquote the right side of the protests for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. So it's Brittany Griner, WNBA player, activist. But for some other people, that headline could have been American athlete guilty of domestic violence being held in another country.
Yeah.
So both are cool.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want one cool credential or another one?
Yeah.
You know what it is people love cat fights.
Ooh.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a cat fight.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, they
didn't mention that Brittany Griner got into a fight with her fucking wife in a big vat full of pudding.
Yeah. They were in bikinis when it happened.
Yeah, they actually got arrested for not having a permit.
Yeah, it was a pillow fight, and they were wearing panties and tight-fitting T-shirts at the time.
I'm pretty sure the three of us are more feminine than Brittany Griner and her wife, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Do you think so?
I don't know how fun it would be to watch.
we all can't dunk a basketball.
No.
Actually, I don't know if Brittany Griner
I could.
can. There's a couple of girls in the NBA who can, but it's very rare.
I can. If it's a Fisher-Price basketball hoop.
Also, I know like Hope Solo kind of like suffered from like a domestic violence case. Like her career took a hit from it. So I wonder if it's like
was she single now?
I hope
solo.
I hope she's solo.
Now, isn't she? Was that a lesbian too, or was she?
I think it would, no. I think she's straight, but I think it was just like her cousin or something like that.
Wait, she fucked her cousin?
And she beat up her cousin.
That's hot. She's in a domestic relationship with her cousin?
It wasn't a domestic relationship. It was just like beat up a family member.
If you beat up your sibling or your parent, it's also domestic violence. Domestic just means like you live together.
Really?
Yeah.
What if I beat the shit out of you right now?
That would be workplace violence.
Is it?
Yeah, and I would definitely file a complaint with the HR department.
Well, I'm the HR fucking...
Damn it! I keep forgetting that.
You forgot, dude. I drew the longest straw, so I get to be HR.
You're the
Bobby,
one HR rep that tells me I'm not racist enough.
I'm writing you up for another blatant display of faggotry.
It
by
was
complaining about creating a hostile work environment by being such a little bitch about everything.
Yeah.
It was misdemeanor counts of assaults in the 4th degree against her half-sister and another one against her nephew.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
How crazy with that? How sexual is that to get beat up by your aunt?
Judge dismissed the charges based on lack of cooperation from both alleged victims. I mean, they have problems cooperating with everybody, apparently.
It's like, just give me some fucking money, dude, and I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
That's what it really comes down to.
So, yeah, I wonder, the Brittany Griner thing, the way it was written there kind of makes it seem like it wasn't necessarily just she beat up her wife. It was like it was a violent interaction with the two. They were both arrested.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that doesn't mean there's no one at fault. It means two people are at fault.
Yeah. But it does, I think, in the public eye, I think people can see, things happened there, as opposed to one guy, one woman, guy beats up the woman, or even if it's like, it seems like an unfair fight if it's both of them did stuff.
Right.
Even if there's times where, a girl pulls a knife on a guy and then he, like, restrains her and she gets marks on her from that restraint. That's still, in, like, the public eye. People just hear, you were both arrested for doing stuff.
Damn. You know what I would do? I would fucking like take the knife from the woman and then cut her throat and then be like, officer, it was crazy. She was swinging the knife. She was going crazy. And then she said, if you won't love me, then no one will. And then she cut her own throat. Officer, I just don't know what to do. And then I get to fucking go back and play PlayStation, and like this fucking, who cares? This woman's in hell or something for, pissing me off.
Yeah.
Have you ever killed a woman?
No, but
it's a rush, dude. You should try it. I've killed a couple of... Is this a Patreon episode?
No. It is not.
Oh, I didn't do nothing. Isn't that cool? Like, it's like, I'll admit to, like, fucking murdering somebody, but only if you give me $5.
You got to give them $5. What a weird OnlyFans.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you got any stories of murders? Like, you got $1.
That'll get you fired from WWE.
Oh. Finn, come here.
Yeah. There's a female wrestler who just got fired because she has like it's not OnlyFans, but it's like her own private website, and apparently she was posting not safe for work videos. And
Oh my God.
stuff.
Get Finn up.
Not safe for her to
Finnegan,
work
Come
anymore.
on over here. Come on, Finn. Aw.
Finnegan the dog is going to join us. He is a corgi for those just joining us.
Yes.
He is a good dog.
Come on, Finn.
We love him very
Here
much.
he is. But yeah, she was fired. I didn't even see what. Apparently, like some of this stuff leaked, and because it leaked, she got fired. She was like one of their champions on like the third show, but still like big part of the show. Got fired for she was like rating penises. I think I don't know if
Okay.
it was like of celebrities or people would send in dicks and she would rate them maybe.
That's mean. It should be your own dick. Don't send other people's dicks.
I don't know if people would. I don't know what it was.
I think the penis rating thing for guys is like it's definitive proof that a woman looked at your penis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it doesn't even
What do
matter
you
if
think
you get
your
a good
rating
grade
is?
or not.
Yeah, it's just participation.
Yeah.
Pass, fail.
Yeah.
Oh, but imagine if you get a fail.
Oh yeah.
That's rough.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on. It's got to be awful to be fail.
I'm sure those women, though, they know customer retention. They're giving out a lot of 8s and 9s.
I also got now the wrestler. Her name's Mandy Rose. I gotta wonder now what was on there because she was like a big part of their show, and for them to fire her, like had there been warnings before or whatever? I figure more stuff will
She'll
come
be
out.
back.
She's rubbing her titties while saying the N-word.
Yeah,
Dude, if they
It's
brought
the only way I could come.
if they brought Paige back, you know, I'm sure they'll bring her back.
Well,
Yeah, but the
you got to
Paige-
remember with Paige, they threw the book at her.
Yeah.
yeah, they were able to turn the page on that one. That wasn't anything she ever posted. That was like her private videos leaked. And
So-
she was never gone because of that. They never fired her because of that. This Mandy Rose is like putting this stuff out on her own willingly.
Cool. What a slut.
Yeah, the page stuff is it's horrifying and terrible because it's like full sex videos.
With
But
a black guy.
yeah, it's also very hot.
Ooh.
It's one of those that you feel bad watching it because you know how like horrible this was for that person, but I mean it's good stuff. It's better than any bra and panties match I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, that really was important to me when I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And then once I got regular internet access, I was like,
Yeah.
all right, well, that is the end of bra and
Yeah.
panty matches for me.
Yeah.
And you know the guys that kept watching bra and panty matches despite their access to pornography
Yeah.
are the guys that pay for OnlyFans now.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, well, but I want like a
Well, because
bit of a relationship.
they don't do them anymore. There's no bra and panties matches anymore. So now the only way they can get that is on OnlyFans.
I
Yeah.
want something tasteful to come to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Get
Well,
out of here.
there's
I do
Yeah.
feel like I went on a porn detox recently.
Yikes! How was that?
It was good, and then yesterday I got back into the game, so to speak,
What'd you watch?
and I watched a woman be made love to by two ebony gentlemen, and I kind of like got by, but I was so like detoxed that I came just from like her just being beautiful. You know what I mean? Like if you detox enough, you get reset back. Like you don't need like, and then a fifth guy comes on her forehead. You don't need that. You just come to a woman being beautiful. That's why you
how
gotta
long did you
gotta
detox?
once you watch your second bukkake video for the evening, don't watch porn for a week and you'll be back to coming to women being beautiful.
Takes a full week.
Takes a full week.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, you don't watch porn as much as you used to, Joseph, because you're
No.
wifed up.
Yeah, there's no need, but it's like it doesn't seem worth it.
And Matt is almost asexual.
What? I'm not asexual.
When's the last time you masturbated?
Like yesterday.
And
Who was
before
it
that?
to?
Probably the day before.
Oh, never mind. You jerk off pretty regularly.
Who-
You just don't seem like a horny guy to me.
Because he jerks off.
Yeah.
Mm.
I jerk off.
What was the last thing you jerked off to?
See, that's
Porn.
the thing.
No.
Mandy
Th-
Sachs?
But you
Yeah.
you also dare, and correct me if I'm wrong, jack off to women being beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I jerk off to women mostly like reading books, you know, giving speeches.
Nice.
Yeah.
Being pregnant, the greatest,
be-
the sexiest thing a woman can do is choose to be a mother.
Unironically, pregnant chicks are
Yeah.
hot. Have I said this on the
Like,
podcast?
Seeing
before?
seeing women as
Have
like.
I mentioned this?
You know who I
why?
jerk off to a lot? Kim Ang. She's the general manager for the Miami Marlins, the first woman to be a general manager of a Major League Baseball team. I don't even know.
And
what she
have an
I
OnlyFans.
don't even know. I don't even know what she looks like. It's a woman being beautiful.
A woman being beautiful.
Yeah, a
Nice.
woman in a position of power. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. No, I just I'm not horny in the way that like when I think I've had enough bad experiences with like bad hookups or bad relationships that I'm never horny enough to put myself in a bad situation with a woman.
Yeah.
That I definitely have been at before. To the point where I'll be a few weeks, like a few dates, and I'm like, I don't see this necessarily going anywhere. Let's cut bait now before it gets bad.
Interesting.
Even if it may be a while before it's going to get bad, I'm like, eventually it'll get there, and I don't necessarily want to be on this trip.
And you won't watch a bukkake video.
Yeah.
Because someone could get hurt.
And also sometimes there's a thought of the amount of effort I'm going to put in for a hookup. It depends on, like, I really need to... It's not even like I need to like the person in order to enjoy. I don't need to like them to enjoy. I need to like them to like put in the effort to like go out, do the whole rigmarole of the dinner, the drinks, and everything. Hanging out with them for that long.
Wow, I thought we were just friends.
Yeah,
I thought we were having a nice time.
Yeah, I'm not horny enough now to like spend a lot of time with somebody who I don't really like just to get laid.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You don't love them anymore.
How about a gangbang? Will you watch a gangbang?
In general, I generally don't watch gangbang porn. I generally watch I like a good story.
See, okay, I think I mischaracterized Matt when I said he's not horny. He's horny.
Yeah.
But he's not a pervert.
Yeah.
I'm a pervert.
Yes.
And Joe, I suspect, is also a pervert, but we don't get to know too much about his personal life.
I think it's more. I think I had the same thing happen with my horniness I did with my drinking.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I was drinking all the time, getting drunk, doing like dumb stuff with it, and now it's like I'll drink here and there, but like sometimes people will be like, "I feel like you don't drink," and it's like, "No, I do. I just am not an alcoholic."
But that's horniness. But you were never a pervert.
I get, like, I wasn't deviant, really, necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, is eating ass deviant? Everyone does that now.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
Yeah.
It was for a hot set. Dude,
Yeah.
even I have eaten ass.
Have you ever?
Even you?
Even I.
Did you ever do? Did you ever do the Tootsie Roll?
What is that?
That's when you're eating ass and a woman takes a straight up shit in your mouth.
Ooh, no, but I watched a woman take a tampon out.
But then, like, you put the shit, you fill the shit in your mouth, and then you very gently spit it out in little rolls, like a Tootsie Roll. It's very beautiful.
See, it's gross, but at the end, it kind of feels like artisan.
Yeah.
Like I'm creating something.
You have to really love the person.
I've never got into pee is very exciting to me. Poop is gross.
Why is pee
Why-
exciting to you?
Yeah, I don't get pee being exciting.
Pee is great, dude.
Why?
I don't know if I could, like, it just is. I don't
Like,
know
do
if
you have
I
an-
could go.
Do you have like an irrational fear of jellyfish? And so it's like you constantly need to be covered in pee. Like, so it's like,
Yeah.
Well,
you can't
I don't
hurt
want to
me
get
now,
peed on.
jellyfish.
I either my two, like I like to watch a woman pee, and I like watching women pee on each other.
Do you like it? Do you like a woman peeing in a toilet, or do you like the idea that she's locked out of the bathroom and she's forced to humiliate herself by urinating in front of you?
I have watched the latter. Doesn't do anything for
Yeah,
me.
we get the fuck out of here.
No,
dude.
I like her being like, "Do you like when I pee? I'm peeing." That's more my vibe.
Yeah,
I'm not a
What's
humiliation
what's
guy.
your scenario? You just stumble into the woman's restroom one day, and a woman is like, "Damn, Bobby, you're not supposed to be here," and then Bobby's like, "Oh, excuse me, I'll leave," and she's like, "Well, you don't have to hurry. I'm taking a piss. Do you want to watch me pee?"
Oh yeah, this sounds nice.
It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Cool, let me just take out my tampon first because I have that tampon that I need to put in my pee hole."
The same girl whose ass I ate also let me watch her pee and let me watch her take out her tampon.
That seems like she should have been the mother of your children.
Yeah,
what
I
happened?
think so. Yeah.
What happened?
She also got very mad if I didn't text her back immediately.
Bobby has red flags about people who are in jail for selling marijuana, but not women who let him watch them take out their tampons.
I'm sorry. There's no law against letting me watch you pee.
It's not about a law being against it, but you're like, well, if you're selling weed, you're probably also prone to being violent. But watching women pee, that's a perfectly normal human being.
Who am I hurting by watching a woman?
Who are you hurting by selling
the
weed?
woman's father.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I suspect he was not in the picture.
Yeah. Oh, why
I'm
was
just
she
saying,
black?
like there is something to it, like the exact thing of I don't judge people for their for whatever they do, but a lot of people will hear like your kink and be like, oh well, I mean that's maybe not hurting anyone, but the person who's into that is probably into such and such.
Yeah.
But that's I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the well, I agree that those people exist. I don't agree with the analogy of tying that into what I said about guys that sell drugs, because guys that sell drugs, and there's a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
There's Heisenberg, and then there's the Roger Klotz outside the middle school.
Who's Heisenberg?
Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jesse Heisenberg. Yeah.
So I get it, but my thing is if your thing is I'm going to break the law.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Then you're in a category of people that break the law.
Yeah.
And in that category are people who part of breaking the law for them is beating the shit out of drug rivalries.
Well, what about when you were in Czech? It was legal brothels you were going to. You ever get a prostitute somewhere where it was illegal?
No.
But in theory, somebody who did, do you think that they're more prone to violence?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
I think people. Yeah, I think if you regularly see sex workers.
Yeah.
Well, no, because there's also the neurodivergent that have to, because it's the only way they could have sex.
Like who?
You just want me to name retarded people?
Yeah.
Elon
of course
Musk.
you do.
No.
Elon Musk, 100% if he wasn't a billionaire.
Do you think
Yeah,
he kills
for sure.
prostitutes after he has sex with them?
That's why he
no.
got booed at Chappelle's show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think I would ever be so rich that I befriend a fucking guy who murders top tier $100,000 a night prostitutes?
Did you see the video?
No, I have the vaguest idea of what even happened.
So Chappelle is on stage.
It's in San Francisco, I think.
That's the thing I didn't notice at first. It was at the Chase Center in San Francisco, and brings out Elon Musk, and he gets booed like pretty bad. And at first it's like a mixed reaction, and for a few minutes Chappelle's making jokes and kind of making it work, and then kind of says at the end something like, come on, he's like, tries to like, he did bring him out there, so he doesn't want to completely just trash him, tries to turn it around, and that got turned into people saying he was lecturing the audience about why they shouldn't boo him, and I'm like, most of it is him making jokes, and it being I mean, if you're Chappelle, and you get a chance to bring out this, like, richest man in the world, fucking do it and see what happens, and just out of a curiosity, like, in my mind, as somebody who runs, like, Comedy Fight Club, I'm like, fucking throw shit out there and see what happens.
So what was this event?
His stand-up show.
Okay, so Chappelle's doing stand-up. He's doing an hour, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess towards the end brings out Elon Musk. He brings out guests on in his stand-up shows.
Yeah, in the middle of his
See,
set.
he's done that before.
Yeah.
To
With,
just be like
rappers and other stuff.
and be like, ask them questions
I
or
don't know, just talk with them, make jokes.
interesting.
I haven't been to a live show of his where he's done it, but in general, it's got to be kind of a wild thing if you go there and you see a stand-up, and then as part of the show, they also bring out like some other famous people who
the
maybe
richest
you're a fan
man in
of.
the world.
Also, it was in San Francisco, so like Chappelle makes a joke like, I think some of those people he fired might be in the audience, but then it was in San Francisco, and I was like, if not them, they're friends for sure.
Yeah.
Who can afford a Chappelle ticket in San Francisco that doesn't work in tech?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, if you work in tech, you might not want to see Chappelle anyway. Because of the left-leaningness of that industry.
Yeah, but there's also, I'm sure there's a lot of people in general, there's a lot of like left-leaning people who don't like the quote-unquote woke stuff.
Yeah.
Like the amount of time, Brooklyn, which is like the center of it, there's so many times I've been at a comedy show in Brooklyn or a party, and someone, like another comic even, will be like, fucking, like, quietly, like, I'm liberal, but I think this stuff is pretty fucked up. Like, so you do get that. So
And
I
you're
can
in a room
yeah.
where almost everyone says that.
Yes.
But
And,
no one
like,
says
yeah.
it to everyone.
Exactly.
But like I've been at like parties with Matt, and like people come up to him and say like, "Hey, I know we're in Brooklyn, but I really love what you're doing. Heil Hitler.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
And it's like, oh, damn,
Yeah.
Matt, like, have you know that guy? And Matt's like, I've never fucking seen that guy in my life.
Do you know Michael Jackson going hee was actually a right-wing dog whistle for Heil Hitler?
Nice, really?
Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know
I
that.
didn't know that either.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Hee. Anyway, that's the name. That's the name of the episode.
Anyway.
Oh, I suspected it was going to be women being beautiful.
Oh yeah, I mean every episode should be named "Women Being Beautiful." But anyway, so yeah, I think there are people who work in tech that are leftists who still will think Dave Chappelle is funny and want to go see a Dave Chappelle show, but Elon Musk fired my friend and openly says I'm a Republican now. You can like Chappelle and boo Elon, I think.
No, you must choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chappelle still, like, bashes Trump, but he's still...
But no, he doesn't. Chappelle's like, he's a good guy. Just let him vote. Let him figure it out. He's going to take care of it.
Yeah, Elon buying Twitter and, like, openly saying political things. Chappelle's never like, I'm a Republican now.
Yeah.
And Elon is. And
But
Elon's
Chappelle's
also
still like
firing
a Muslim.
people. That's true.
So we got to be careful. It's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some very dangerous thoughts, folks.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying we got to be careful. As Americans, we need to be cautious. All right? The Antichrist, he's supposed to appear as a glittering god, but he's not. So beware, folks.
Yeah.
It's all in the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the Bible tells me so.
Yeah.
Jesus loves me, this I know.
He loves everybody. He loves all of his children.
But me especially.
Yeah, you're the favorite.
Oh,
You're
dude, for
Jesus'
sure.
favorite.
Jesus is like, I'm glad I'm dying on the cross for all of my children, but damn, Joe Gorman's going to be so fucking cool, man. That guy's going to smoke so much fucking weed.
Yeah.
And then,
And-
like, they fucking stab Jesus in the side. He's like, ow, fuck! It's worth it because Joe Gorman's going to be so cool. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Father, in your hands I commend my spirit.
It's always weird that moment when you're in a Catholic mass when they start playing that System of a Down song. You're like, well,
Wake
I
up.
forgot that this is a hymn.
Grandma Chipotle, make up. Why'd you leave the people on the pail?
Drug money is used in elections to train brutal corporate-sponsored dictators around the world.
Has a religious leftist ever made their pronouns he, him, HYMN?
Ooh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? No, that's a right-wing guy, like a
Yeah.
religious guy on Twitter would go, my pronouns are praise/hymn.
Yeah.
Or read hymns.
Yeah.
Read/hymns. Like,
Fucking.
I really like that one.
It is frustrating that, like, political people in general ruin everything, but, like, right-wing people make it, like, it's so easy now with a lot of the stuff on Twitter and everything to make fun of, like, liberal and leftist people, but you can't, because so many right-wing people do that same stuff, you can't do it without people being like, oh, you must be right-wing.
yeah.
And it's very frustrating that I can't just make fun of these fucking gay liberals
Yeah.
without someone being like, oh, you must like Dan Crenshaw. I'm like, fuck. No, that guy's an idiot too.
And I found that, I have shitty engagement on every social media platform, but I found if I do try to make like a joke where it's like both sides,
Yeah.
quote unquote, it like almost nothing. Because most people, not most people, but enough people were like, well, I would have liked the first half of this tweet, but not the second half, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or it's that the most people don't really give a shit and are kind of somewhere, I don't even know if I'd say in the middle, but just kind of, they're not extreme. And but extreme people are the ones who like and share things on social media. So no one's going to see your thing. No one feels passionately that both sides suck. People feel passionately, my side's awesome, your side sucks.
Yeah.
And so that's just the kind of stuff that gets more engagement.
Have you ever trafficked someone, Joe?
Yeah, I have. It was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
She kept crying, saying, like, please, I want to see my fucking family again. And I was like, remember, if you get pregnant, that's more profit for me.
Huh.
And then I closed the gate. How cool is that?
That is pretty cool.
Pretty fucking cool. I've lived such a fucking rich life.
How cool is that? So I snuck in her room and read her diary. Damn, I'm feeling good, dude, honestly.
Are you?
I'm having a nice time.
Oh, yeah?
Life is good.
Good, dude.
Yeah, I was doing push-ups in the office again.
Were you?
Yeah.
Stop bragging.
It sucks
I
that you
can't.
can't.
I can't do push-ups right now.
I know, I'm picking up the slack.
I miss it so much.
It sucks you can't work from home, dude.
Yeah.
It feels like your job you could.
Yeah, but also I feel like my job can also be done by a Filipino, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to push it too,
Why did it
too
have
much.
to be a Filipino?
We have an office in the Philippines.
I
Oh.
see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say everyone in my physical therapy office that's taking care of me right now is Filipino.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So-
I'm not going to I love Jollibee. I'm not going to talk shit about
Oh,
them.
hey.
I still haven't eaten a Jollibee before, but there is one near where I live.
Well, you should go.
What should I get?
A hamburger.
They have burgers there.
Yeah.
Is that what Jollibee does?
It's like Burger King or McDonald's,
Yeah.
but it feels fancy because it's foreign. And the people are nice there. It's like it has a Chick-fil-A vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
They hate
nice
gay
Filipinos
they
that
hate gay people too.
They do, well, I mean, come on. I mean, you've heard Manny Pacquiao or however
Manny Pacquiao.
however the fuck you say that dumb jock's name. I don't know.
Manny
He said. He
Pacquiao.
says like the only way he can knock somebody out is if he thinks that they're gay.
Yeah,
He's like a senator or some shit. He holds like some office.
I
Yeah.
imagine he's dumb as shit.
Because he's Filipino. Bobby,
Yeah.
this is very racist. I don't stand by this
Jesus.
at all. I can't believe Bobby just said that. to be
I have
honest.
vague memories of Filipinos on Reddit being like he's Trump.
Yeah, he's it's interesting with athletes getting into politics. I was actually just reading about there was a baseball player from the early 1900s, Walter Johnson, who
Ooh.
ran as a Republican. He lost, but this is like in the 30s or 40s, and I'm like, fucking athletes were running for office even back then. He didn't win, but I couldn't really find anything that was like real negative about him, except he was considered he wasn't necessarily like super smart. There was another pitcher from his era, Christy Matheson, who went to college, and the big thing was college graduate. People could go to the games and say, we're going to watch the college boy play.
Ooh.
Because baseball was seen as like just like working class and like the degenerates over there. So Walter Johnson, he wasn't a college graduate, but he was known for being very kind. That he was always so terrified of hitting people. Ty Cobb had an advantage against him because he would Walter Johnson threw the fastest fastball of the time.
Ooh.
So most hitters would back away from the plate. Ty Cobb would stand right up against the plate because he knew Walter Johnson was so nice and he actually didn't want to hit anybody.
Ugh.
Yeah. So he had a reputation of being nice. I don't know if he had the reputation of being the dumb jock necessarily, but there was a story of when he was running for, I think it was senator or representative or whatever. He was given two speeches, one to give the farmers and one to give the factory workers, and he mixed them up and addressed the different. He gave the farmer speech to the factory workers and vice versa.
But that advice almost is like condescending. It's
Yeah.
like these farmers, they got to get good farm advice.
Yeah.
And these factory workers, they got to get good.
Not necessarily advice. It was a campaign speech.
Oh, so like here's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of guess. Oh, that's so. I mean, give the guy a break.
Yeah.
That's something an error you wouldn't make if you were in like public office your whole life.
Yeah.
But also, if you're in public office your whole life, you're an unlikable douche.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's so much of this is before telephone. Like phones were there, but there wasn't. This is 40s.
They
30s.
didn't have the Google Pixel yet.
Yeah, there was no internet. There was no no TV even really yet.
Not a single luxury.
Yeah.
Man, don't be stupid. There's always been TV. There's just more channels now. Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Yeah, probably everybody didn't have a telephone back then even. So it's God, it is interesting to think like back just what life was like. You like how we think people are in a bubble now because with Twitter you can get in your own bubble. Back then you were in a bubble because you couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
Think about it, dude.
Yeah.
What a meanie Ty Cobb
Yeah.
was. Be like, oh yeah, Mr. Nice Guy, I'm gonna step right onto the plate.
Competitive advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really makes you think.
What sport would you play if you had to play a sport, Joe?
Sumo wrestler.
I'm imagining you in your little trunks right now.
Hell yeah, dude.
What color trunks would you wear?
Red
Mm-hmm.
or dark brown to cover up my fucking skid marks.
Yeah. That's an interesting
Sumo
question.
wrestler Joseph Chan is stepping into the circle. He's using the milk lemonade approach. where round the corner fudge is made. Oh, he's getting it. Oh, and they're both exhausted 30 seconds into the match.
He gets a tattoo on his back that says Yokozuna.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He's about to take him to Browntown, Steve.
Yeah. Sumo wrestler would be cool.
Yeah, and you get to be a great athlete in any sport. Which one do you pick?
Ooh.
Bobby?
Probably poker.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll hot dog.
So you could have sex.
I'll
you
be
could have
Joey
sex with-
Chestnut, the hot
sex
dog
with
eater.
Jennifer Tilly.
Who's that?
Oh, didn't she dated a poker player, right?
Mhm, and she is a professional poker player herself.
Yeah.
Jennifer Tilly?
Yeah, big titted woman.
She's a big titty woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my. That further cements my answer then.
Yeah.
Because like professional poker players, they could also go to casinos, right?
Can you,
Ooh.
or are they not allowed?
I don't know.
Yeah, I would think they'd be like, "Hey guys, why don't you sit this one out?" This is. I remember one time I went to Atlantic City with my dad, and my dad's like not a big gambler, but
Gambled with his life that time he fought a gypsy.
Yeah. And he gambled with genetics when he busted a load in your mom.
and he sometimes the house wins, but so he took me to the blackjack table, and I was like newly 21, I think. So it was sort of like a fun, like, I'm going to teach my son how to gamble. And there were like these two, just the people you think of when you think of like gambling addicts, like kind of fat, bloated, alcoholic looking, like white middle-aged dudes. And they're both standing there, and my dad's like, okay, so if it's the face cards mean 10. And then one of them like laughs and goes, "We loud enough so that we could hear him." He goes, "Weekend Warriors," and I really just these two losers are like, look at this man trying to bond with his son.
Yeah.
Just tickled me so.
Did you win though? Did you show him how it's done?
Well, we lost $20, and then that was it for the evening because we only gave ourselves $20 to play with.
You guys really are weekend warriors. You should have mortgaged the house.
Should have
put those fucking raging alcoholics in their place.
Mm-hmm. My dad takes off his wedding ring after losing the $20, puts it on the table, and goes, "Putting it all on black." And they're like, "Sir, this is blackjack, not roulette." And he's like, "I said what I said." So now he's playing a game of fucking blackjack where it only black cards. That's what he means by putting it all on black.
Nice.
And then he gets like a black ace and a queen of spades.
Nice.
Are those two black cards?
It's called a Beyonce.
Jesus Christ. That was so quick.
Yeah. Joseph Gorman, sumo wrestler.
Yeah, dude. If there's anything I learned in the sumo octagon, it's you got to be fast.
Okay.
Black.
This is news to me that the sumo ring is an octagon.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you could shit as much as you want to distract your opponent, and it doesn't take away from... you don't get penalized or anything?
No.
That's his secret maneuver.
Okay.
I call it the flowing squid.
Okay. Do you? I guess you like eat a lot and then take laxatives.
A lot of rice.
Okay.
A lot of broth.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm ready, I call upon the ancestors to open up my anus.
Andre the Giant used to fart on people when he wrestled them.
Oh, that's disgusting.
One time he accidentally had a wet fart and shit on someone.
Nice.
Oh my God.
The brown tsunami, as we call it in the sumo wrestling community.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That'd be traumatizing. Now,
That's actually the most devastating tsunami Japan's ever seen.
Nice. Now, Robert, you love piss. How do you feel about shit?
Shit. That's what made me bring up. Thank you. That's what made me bring up shit because I was like, I get piss. Shit, I don't get at all.
You've never had a woman shit on you?
No.
What do you think about people who like shit though and sex?
They're not hurting anybody, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
Here's the only thing.
Do you feel like they're more prone to hurt somebody than people who like piss?
Yes.
No,
They're
I don't think so.
more prone to hurt themselves.
I don't know about that.
What are the sexual kinks that make you think other things about that person? Like S&M. Do you think they're more prone to violence in the real world if they're into S&M?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I do think if it gets to, like, if you're wearing a diaper and having someone throw baloney at your face and call you a little faggot, you might got something. And you're not hurting anybody, but I think also you might need to go to therapy. You know
Well, you know what they say, dude. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me.
Yeah.
They do say that.
Yeah.
I remember learning that in Catholic school.
I have that written in my yearbook.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Wow, what middle school did you go to?
Don't worry about it.
So at what level of sexual deviancy do you think someone needs therapy?
Yeah. When they have sex with a member of their immediate family.
Yeah, anything that's breaking the law, of course. Anything
Right.
below.
What's the law to you?
What's the law to me?
Yeah.
It's actually one of those things that's not
Well,
subjective.
Wait a minute. Because at one point it was illegal to fucking marry a black person.
Yeah, sodomy is illegal.
Yeah. So what? No.
I think the laws we have now are pretty lit, though.
So what? Like there are laws where like gay people can't have like Qatar.
Okay, United States laws regarding sexual morality in 2022 are pretty lit.
There's still some laws on the books that aren't. They just don't enforce
What's
them.
the motive for both of you here?
Get Bobby to look bad.
Get Bobby, yeah. Get
How the
Bobby
fuck is this like a
get
fucking?
Bobby to
Of course,
admit
like it's
that,
like
yeah.
I want everyone to like look how bad, look how evil Bobby's morals are. Maybe people will like look up where you live, pay you a little visit.
Yeah.
Maybe somehow you start thinking a little differently about.
I think
things.
that could totally happen. I would get. I mean, Joe was just watching the world burn, but you, Matthew, because you don't do drugs, really.
Yeah.
Matt, why are you doing this? I thought you were my friend.
I honestly, I did, and I feel silly for
It's
allowing
funny-
myself to be so vulnerable.
It's funny for me whenever
Yeah.
there was like the kid in class who's like, I'm the good one to find where they're bad.
I see.
Because everyone
Yeah.
is.
but
Bobby,
I
you
don't
try
think
to
what
be
I
so-
said was that controversial.
It was,
But it sounds sanctimonious.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it's just like the fact that you constantly think women are second-class citizens.
Yeah. Or you're
Yeah.
like, I believe in the law. And I'm like, well, there's bad laws.
There's horrible.
There are
laws.
bad laws.
Yeah.
But if
And there's laws that I don't think you believe in.
Sure, but I'm sure you could find an exception, but I will follow the laws I don't agree with because we should live in a society where the laws are followed, and if the laws are unjust, we change them.
Yes.
But what if you can't? What if you can't change them?
Then it just kind of is what it is, unless
What
it's...
are you?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Are you? In theory, if you would say, I believe we should change the laws, but in the meantime, we don't break them. Is that what you? If you're alive in 1940, are you the person telling
Probably. I like Lincoln.
You're telling your white friend, don't date that black woman who you're in love with?
Well, okay. So, do you want a serious answer?
Yes.
Because I wouldn't say that, but what
And I'll ask Joe when I want the non-serious
Exactly.
answer.
Yeah.
But what I think Lincoln in that moment was a genius for being like, all I want is, I don't want total abolition. I want to keep the expansion of slavery from happening. But I do, like he said in his first inaugural address,
Yeah.
I do not want to interfere with the institution of slavery where it exists,
Yeah.
because I believe I have no lawful right to do so. And strategically, I mean, that was amazing because
Then he eventually did overturn it.
right because he
Broke a
said
promise.
in
All those white people who supported Lincoln because they thought he wouldn't take their slaves away,
Yeah.
he betrayed them.
yeah
He's a fucking slave thief, dude.
yeah but to me that's kind of an example, because then you have people like John Brown, and you could make the argument that the Civil War was inevitable, but it came about sooner and was more bloody than maybe it otherwise would have been if John Brown wasn't such a purist
Yeah.
that he was like, nah, man, complete abolition, we're just going to start killing slave owners.
Yeah, I'm not, me personally, I'm not the John Brown. I'm not the guy who's going to burn everything down and like end up getting hung myself. But I'm also not the person who's
well,
going
no
to.
one would expect you to be hung, man.
Yeah. I'm also not the person who's going to be like, well, this is the right thing to do. I'm like, fucking, I'm going to do what I want and what I think is right. In like I'm not an activist. Just my personality isn't that. But I can't just look at, well, this is the way this is, and this is the way I have to do it. And I'm like, to me, I'm like, no, fuck it, do what's right.
Can you think of an example of that in 2022?
When I don't want to pay for the Starburst and I can put it in my pocket without paying for it, and then I walk out of the store and shoplift.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
good, because I feel like people being like, well, there's bad laws. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but a good law is not stealing, and you're stealing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or like the jaywalking thing.
I mean, so when I at a with my something like lying on your resume, not necessarily a law, but a thing that I started doing because I got fucked over by the state, or when I stopped paying my student loan bills after they had told me I would only pay for a certain amount, and then 4 years later we're like, actually, interest rates went up, so we're adding more onto it, and I was like, fuck that, I'm not paying anymore. Like things that are unfair and that in that moment are going to hurt me to do. I will say, fuck it, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of hard. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
Where it gets kind of shady is like there's a story that someone tells themselves where they're getting fucked over. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I got screwed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you could bring that far enough. And of course, like the people in the example are like rich employers in the government, two people that aren't so sympathetic, right?
Yes.
But there's a story that someone can tell themselves where it's like, I grew up without a father, and this asshole father gave him a car, so I could steal his car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
But
I
if you
mean,
start
yeah, that
telling
guy's
yourself a
dad will
certain
just buy him a
resentments-
new car,
Yeah.
dude. Fucking, yeah, it seems like it's what we call on the streets, Bobby, a victimless crime.
Yeah.
Yes. Please
But-
tell me about the
yeah.
streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fucking
I saw
sucks.
your childhood home.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
We grew up in a fucking cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Dead end.
Yeah. Grew up on a dead end street. Just because some people are crazy and use irrational justifications for why they can do things that are against the law, I don't think means that every situation
Right.
is.
But what I'm saying is the response to me being like you should follow the law is there are bad laws is an understandable response, and my response to that is fix the bad laws.
Yeah. But in the meantime, when they're not fixed, you only live one life. Are you gonna wait? Like, you know, are you against a slave escaping? Like,
I'm not. I
at
am.
at a certain point, there's got to be like,
and
do
you
what
do-
you can do in your life
And
to live your life.
I know you used the most extreme example to make a point, but the thing is, most things are not that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where if it's sort of like I'm paying this percentage in taxes, it should be a little less. Like in a fair, just world, I would be paying $1,000 less in taxes a year, and it's like, well, then vote for the politician that's going to lower your taxes by $1,000, but don't try to cheat the system.
Well, I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I knew you would.
Yeah, we got to cheat the system.
Because, like, who cares, dude? It's the
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
system. It's not like some fucking guy is like, damn it. It's the system. It's made to be fucking cheated and exploited.
Exactly.
Well, I was thinking about this because, like, shoplifting from a big corporation is thought as a victimless crime.
Yes.
Fucking me not being able to talk is a victim crime. A victim for everybody listening. But the corporations have like a calculation of like, okay, this is approximately how much we'll lose a year from shoplifters.
Yeah.
So we will take that into account when we're deciding middle management salary.
Yeah.
And a middle manager is just a guy that makes $50,000 a year that maybe could have made $51,000 a year in a world where there was no shoplifting. So
Maybe not, though.
I don't think the world is divided into the monopoly man and everybody else, and we got to take as much from the monopoly man as possible.
But I think that middle manager, he's like, oh, fuck, I didn't get the raise. Looks like I had to steal another big screen TV from fucking inventory.
And then it all
and
works
flip
out.
it on Craigslist. It
Yeah.
all takes care of itself. So, folks, don't worry, like, oh, I shouldn't steal this candy bar from this fucking corporation. Everyone steals from everything. So don't worry. That middleman that you're worried about, fucking, he's stealing shit too. Everybody steals. It all fucking works out.
I don't believe that in a world without shoplifting, billionaire CEOs don't still try to fuck over middle management.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true, but maybe
I think they try to, in a world without shoplifting, people still get fucked over just as much.
They'll just find a new way to fuck people over.
Yeah, I think it all kind of, I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think it all kind of works itself out. Unless you have, and honestly, if you have a nation of people acting the way Wall Street and CEOs do, then it's a problem. When
Yeah.
everyone's cheating everyone and stealing from each other.
Luckily, there's
right now
some-
we have
yeah.
just a system where the richest people do that to each other. If every individual person acted towards each other the way CEOs and hedge fund managers and all act towards each other, then we have a fucked up society. That's the thing too. That
welcome to Trapo Trap House.
There you go. The follow the law thing is just upsetting to me because like plenty of people who don't follow the law and then they get in trouble and then pay their way out of it and they're we're in a
my follow the law thing extends to people of all classes.
Sure, but in our system right now, if you don't follow the law and you have money, you can afford to not follow the law.
How do you fix that? Because unless you give everyone public attorneys,
you steal candy from convenience stores,
and we
there you go.
and we decentralize the dollar.
Okay, what does that mean?
That just means it ruins all of its value because really like the. It's not even the gold standard's gone.
Yeah.
You know? It's really just Chinese money because really that's what it is. Like we owe China trillions.
Yeah.
How wild is that, dude?
Dollars.
Yeah, we owe China a lot of ren.
Yes. It's yen in Japan, so you just call it ren in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll understand. They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can I bring? I wanted to bring up jaywalking before.
Okay.
And it's for a real reason.
Yes.
Because jaywalking, I think, is a perfect example. The law of like don't cross this. Like New York City has decided these roads are so busy that you can't cross unless a machine tells you to.
Yeah. So if you're in the middle of the street and there's no cars coming, and you cross the street, that's jaywalking. Mm-hmm. But if instead of crossing the street when there are no cars coming, you walk all the way to where there's a crosswalk and cross there, it's gay walking.
There it is.
So that was going to be my first question.
Yes.
So obviously, to jaywalk, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I am not saying that it is. But to jaywalk, it's not because it's unfair that you can't cross the street. It's just because you don't fucking want it. You know, you don't want to wait the 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's the opposite example of, well, slavery used to be legal, where it's like you're breaking this law, A, because no one cares.
Yeah.
But B, because you just don't want to follow it because it is a little inconvenient.
Yeah.
And it's a silly example, but I think like that's kind of where I dislike breaking the law.
Ooh.
Well, I think that there are things within that of, if everyone jaywalks at all times, everything's a mess. But also, most people don't jaywalk when it would make it a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you see like a fucking busy street, you're like, fuck, all right, shit. And then you go to the crosswalk.
Yeah.
But if it's like an empty street and you're kind of like I mean, like at the core, like you should be looking both ways before you cross the street.
Yeah.
The only people that really cause havoc are those crazy homeless people that just kind of like wander and meander in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And the phone addicts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bicyclists that are weaving in and out, but like people that are like alert.
Yeah,
they're
and
pretty good.
There is differences between different laws. If you're driving 75 into 65, a lot of people do that. Nobody goes a little bit over the murder law. Like no one's like, I'm going to do a little bit of rape here, a little bit of murder, just a little bit. I'm going to kill him a little bit.
What about what about like you're at like a crosswalk, but it has like do not walk, but there's no it's like 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it says don't walk, and you like look both ways, and there's no traffic. It's an empty street. You cross. It's still technically jaywalking, but
But
I wait based on principle.
You wait. You follow Matt, dude. I've walked with you guys.
I will jaywalk. Here's the thing. Here's where I'll break the law. I will jaywalk with friends who are jaywalking because I don't want to have an argument. You know what I mean? I'll just go along, and it makes them sad. It's the same reason why sometimes I'll eat birthday cake, because I'm trying to be ripped. But there are some scenarios where when you don't eat birthday cake, it makes people sad, and I don't want to make people sad. That is an example of God's law over man's law, because God's law tells me not to make my friends sad.
Like not make people sad, but you'll recite the Gettysburg Address multiple times on this podcast.
The Gettysburg Address, by the way, which goes 7 years ago. Our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation.
Oh, shit, we're out of time. Hey, thanks a lot, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated will long endure. We were met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place to those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate. We cannot consecrate. We cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to the cause to which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. And that is a man that loved the law. Women are beautiful?
Yeah. Name the episode Women Are Beautiful.
I think that's the longest we've been serious. I mean,
Maybe.
that fucking philosophical debate, if you want to call it.
Yeah.